Konnichiwa, minaboku wa Jeremy desu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And today we are going to delve into that wonderfully uncomfortable and stupid idea of copyright infringement. Copyright is ridiculous in all forms. I don't care. I mean, as an artist myself, whether it's drawing or whether it's whatever, it's stupid because the artist is the one that's supposed to be able to maintain the right to certain things. But really, the law doesn't protect that, and when it does, it just goes into the realm of stupidity that just fucks up everyone's lives in general. Let's take the case of the people on DeviantArt or that draw these things, or not just DeviantArt, anything really on the internet. It doesn't matter where you put it. It's basically free use. Facebook, everybody's like, oh, well, Facebook doesn't have the right to use my pictures. But, well, they do, because you're putting it up online, and anything that you put up online is basically kind of fair game. There's really no way of policing it, and the police really don't do anything about it. A lot of artists kind of band together, like, say, the DeviantArt sort of situation, and they'll put a bunch of verbal stuff out there. They'll attack the people that do end up stealing stuff. Hot Topic was under a lot of trouble for that kind of a thing. In fact, I'm not even sure that this is not a stolen design of this shirt that I'm wearing here, or the fact that I'm wearing this in this video is perhaps also a violation of copyright. Who knows? It's so murky and ridiculous. That's basically my point. So, right now, cosplayers are facing a horrible situation. The Supreme Court, I think it's of the states, is considering a lawsuit by two particular companies. What are their names here? Star Athletica and Varsity Brands, two groups that do cheerleading outfits. Who would have thought that cheerleading and cosplay would kind of meld? I guess in some ways they do. There are cheerleading costumes out there. Anyway, they're arguing that they want this copyright protection thing because fashion doesn't really have it, and it's just so stupid and really annoying, and I don't really want to get too much into the details. I should post a link to this particular article and maybe some other ones that I find, but I'm just telling you my opinion on things and where I stand on it. So as a cosplayer myself, not necessarily a big name one, really, I'm not, there are far better cosplayers and stuff out there than myself, but I am coming from the aspect of the enjoyment aspect of it. Taking a series that you like and cosplaying as that character, it can go across nerddom, geekdom, whatever, because it's not just anime. There's a lot of cosplayers of Star Wars and Doctor Who and, Firefly or whatever. There's even a guy that did a cosplay of the Incredible Toaster recently from Disney, and he's all over the internet and stuff. So, in general, people do it because they enjoy it. Now, there are the other people that start out enjoying it, and then they kind of just start mass-producing these things so that they become big on the internet and kind of make money off of it, which I guess kind of does infringe on the copyright of certain things. And in that aspect, I can see it being trouble. In this case, though, they're talking about the difference. There's no copyright for something that is functional, like just a lamp, a standard lamp, a stick with a light in it, whatever, a lamp. It's functional, that's what it does. There's not really a copyright that dictates that. Same with a vacuum cleaner, functionality, whatever. When it comes to the design of it, that's where things get tricky, and even the best copyright lawyers and stuff are scattered all over the place when it comes to how to deal with certain situations like this. So I can just imagine how long and frivolous this particular lawsuit's going to be and what the ramifications of it are. If it comes down to the design, the color, and the just creative aspect of maybe like pattern designs and stuff of your costume, and if that ends up falling under the copyright laws, that's really going to screw over a lot of cosplayers in terms of the realm of legality. But when it comes to things like, for example, the speeders or the telephone, people that talk on their telephones and stuff while they're driving, there's no real 100% way of policing it unless you put way more police out there. It's the same sort of thing with the cosplaying. Who's really going to uphold this new law if it ends up coming into effect? It'll screw up, if anything, it'll screw up the whole American animation industry, because a lot of cosplay is based on these series that comes out on the fandoms for it. If you piss the fans off, they're going to get pissed off at the brand names. Yes, they'll still be fans of things, but maybe they'll boycott the buying of things, which is in turn going to screw up the whole animation industry in North America when it comes to anime and bringing stuff over here. It's already expensive for things, and if there's less want for things, then the companies that do them aren't going to really want to go and spend money on bringing these series over here, and then people are still going to pirate them online. So the piracy is just going to move to another thing. This is just how life is. There's really no way around it. Trying to set rules and stuff on it, it's this is a huge bomb that's ready to go off. And even if something does go through and the law courts, knowing how they are, would want to target the biggest name people, they'd probably go after some big name costumers, like say Jessica Negri or Yaya Han, or just any big name ones. Those are just the two that come to my mind immediately, and I love them both. They're wonderful people, absolutely wonderful people. I've met them both. I've worked with them with Anime Revolution, and they just enjoy doing what they like, dressing up and stuff, because they enjoy it for what it is, as well as interacting with fans. And so yes, they come under fire for things. Anybody will for anything that they love, just because there's a lot of trolls out there that like to get pissed off and point things out because they're not happy with their own lives and whatnot, whatever. But I would think that they would go probably to the highest thing there, but that will turn around and bite them in the ass, because there's such a huge fandom for these people that if they were to be gone after, then I think that the backlash would just, it's horrible. It's like those, as much as I hate sports, some sports people are some of the most passionate people that I know in terms of following their teams. Some of them. I know a few people that kind of go back and forth depending on who the more popular one is, but we won't get into that for this discussion. It could cause a lot of problems. Look at the Vancouver riots when the Canucks lost in the... Oh gosh, I'm not a sports person whatsoever, so I almost said the Grey Cup, but that's football, I'm pretty sure, and I only know that because my aunt is a huge football fan. I know they're hockey. I think it's the Grey Cup game of 2010 or 11, somewhere around there. There was a huge riot, and I mean, that was just stupidity, but because that's the masses and that's how people are, and it's just like this columnation of stupidity that ends up when people get pissed off about things. I can attest to that, because right now this is probably coming off as stupid, and I'm not very good at enunciating my feelings towards things, but I just think that copyright is a ridiculous thing. Yes, I do think that some people are entitled to things, but at the same time, if you push things too far, it'll actually come back to bite you in the ass, and it's just like anything in general. So the Supreme Court getting involved with this, thanks to these two, I've never even heard of these companies before. I don't know what the landscape of anime fandom in the future is going to be like, or fandom in general. I mean, it could hurt the conventions and stuff too, not just anime conventions, but regular fandom conventions as it is. The Supernatural convention, I mean that's run by Supernatural, I believe, so whatever, that maybe is a whole other thing, branding and stuff like that. But in terms of fan run conventions and stuff, it's like the doujinshi rules and versus the vendors hall rules. If you're doing doujinshi and you're selling them to make a profit in the vendors hall, it's a little bit different than when you're in the artist alley type thing. That's a murky area too, but a lot of the companies kind of have their own little preset things with that. Funimation did lay the groundwork for a lawsuit that happened not too long ago with another convention, and they were kind of right to do so. If a company that owns the license to something comes in and asks you to take something that you are offending, at a convention, you're selling stuff in an area that you're not supposed to, you're not following the rules there of both the convention and the company, and you are selling it, and you refuse to take that down, and they go to the convention, and the convention refuses to do anything about it because they're on the side of the other thing, then yes, the company has the right to get pissed off and do a lawsuit for that sort of a thing. But they try not to do things like that, and usually a lot of the companies, the vendors, the conventions, they all kind of work together to avoid that sort of a situation, because it's not good in the long run for anybody at all. And it's just, everything works kind of like a fine-oiled machine. And with the cosplay community being the way that it is, especially getting as big as it is, I can only foresee tragic results if anything does go through. Now, I personally don't think that anything is going to come of this, thankfully. I believe that the Supreme Court of the states should be smart enough to deal with this in a way that will be fair to everyone, or at least just throw the frivolous lawsuit out, because really to me that's all that is frivolous. It's just like when YouTube has to deal with these the song things. If you're performing something live and or you post something on YouTube and you do not monetize it, I think that that is fair. I'm pretty sure that on my performance ones, when I would do a song or a parody of it, and I just post it with, I usually post them without the monetary things on it. You'll notice some of my videos have commercials and stuff. Usually the ones that have songs on them don't. So if you're not making money from that, I think that's fine, because you can perform, an artist can perform any kind of song they want to without asking the permission of the artist, as long as they're doing it in a live show. Okay, those videos get posted all the time on YouTube, and there's no problem with it. I got dinged for showing a commercial for the Sailor Moon crystal stuff. There was a few things, and yes, rightfully so, that was stupid. I get very excited for things. You probably noticed this in a lot of my videos, and I was very excited for the being able to see some of this kind of stuff. So I was just thinking, oh, I'm going to share this with people, but shouldn't have done that, and I paid the price for it. Thankfully not monetarily wise, but just in general having limitations to my YouTube channel, which is fine. And that's all done and taken care of, and since then everything's been good. But I have, for YouTubers and stuff, I don't know if you guys know this, when you post something that it could possibly infringe or contain third-party content, it lets you know in your video history that it matches it, and it's up to them to decide whether they're going to do anything about it. Now there's this new YouTube Red service where you can pay and see certain things that you can't see on regular YouTube. It's ad-free and whatnot. I don't know. I've never received a check from YouTube. I don't have enough subscribers or views to actually warrant getting any money from that. I just do it for fun more than anything else. And to get stuff out there so that one day when I do become a voice actor or a performer, like full-time professionally, then maybe that can just get the stuff out there. It's like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Social media these days is a powerful thing. But certain songs, like there's one I did by Madonna, I think it was The Power of Goodbye. I'm pretty sure they muted the audio. I'd have to go back and look at that. But the plethora of other songs and stuff that I've done, I've been very lucky that they haven't done things like that. So you can, I could probably start another channel. I've actually been thinking about doing this and doing a cappella versions of stuff with not the music in the background, and I think that's perfectly fine, because it falls in another gray area of the whole copyright bubble, if you will. But in general, copyright is such a ridiculous thing to me. All it does is it just causes people to get more pissed off about things. A lot of people do respect the artists enough that they'll buy their stuff, and I mean, I'm guilty of downloading music and stuff like that, but usually if I really like an artist, I will go out of my way to try to work to get their music properly and through proper means to support them. But at the same time, they don't make it very easy. I have mentioned before many times that I do not like iTunes. iTunes is the biggest piece of shit on the planet, because you can't just, iTunes is all one big thing. It's all one massive thing, and all over the world there's different artists that contribute stuff to iTunes. You should legally be able to use your credit card to buy things from anywhere in the world, because iTunes is one big company. So if I wanted to get Japanese stuff, I shouldn't have to go and buy a Japanese iTunes card in order to be able to download this kind of stuff. That's just stupid. And of course people don't want to be able to have to do that kind of stuff because it just takes more time, and it's just dumb. Anyway, that's a whole other video. I think I've mentioned before. I'm gonna leave it now because this rant is pretty much gonna just keep going on. Copyright in general is ridiculous. That's my idea on it. And certain things are good, certain things are bad. Blah, I don't even know why I just went on like that. So, but this cosplay one, we're going to have to watch it, see what comes of it, and just hope that the Supreme Court handles it properly and go from there. So, that's it for now, you guys. Let me know what you think, because this is such an insane issue, especially for fans and stuff everywhere. I would love to hear what you think, and add your 2 cents in. Jamat Mina, have a great day. Bye-bye.